is Trent Alexander-Arnold, the future of Liverpool's midfield. For years, he's been one of the best right-backs in the world. But now, his managers are experimenting with a new role. We've seen glimpses of his creativity in midfield, from his passing, vision, and control, which are all top tier. But can he truly make the switch and dominate games from the centre? In this video, we'll break down Trent's evolution and what this means for Liverpool's future. If you love football analysis, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more juicy content like this. Let's get started. It was back in September 2021 when former England manager Gareth Southgate decided to try something different. He put Liverpool's star right-back Trent Alexander-Arnold in midfield during a World Cup qualifier against Andorra at Wembley. And how did it go? Well, his experiment lasted only 45 minutes, and it had Liverpool coach at the time Jurgen Klopp asking, why make the best right-back in the world a midfielder? And honestly, why the obsession with moving a guy who's already world-class in his position? Alexander-Arnold has lived the dream. He joined Liverpool's academy in 2004 and worked his way up. Captaining the club at every youth level, Trent made his senior debut at 18 and wasted no time making his history. He played in back-to-back Champions League finals in 2018 and 19, won the second one, and even made the Champions League squad of the season. Not only that, he became the youngest player ever to start in 2 consecutive finals. 2019 was a great year for the youngster. He won the UEFA Super Cup and the FIFA Club World Cup and kept stacking up awards. He was named PFA Young Player of the Year, the first ever Premier League Young Player of the season, and made the PFA Team of the Year 3 times. But the biggest one was helping Liverpool end a 30-year wait for the Premier League title. And guess what? He did all of this as a right-back. Honestly, has any right-back ever been better than Trent in recent years? Hakimi, Reece James, Cancelo, Jules? You could argue it, sure, and I can already hear the debates. Trent can't defend like these guys, but while that's up for discussion, one thing isn't: his attacking ability. Let's be real, Trent hasn't won all these trophies just by tagging along. His impact going forward is unreal, and if you need proof, check out this. By January 2025, at just 26 years old, he already has more assists than any defender in the Premier League's history, 64 and counting. And here's something even crazier. Since making his competitive debut for Liverpool on October 25th, 2016 against Tottenham in the League Cup, Trent has racked up 86 assists in all competitions. That's the third most by any Premier League player in that time, only behind Kevin De Bruyne and Mohamed Salah. Let that sink in. A right-back is keeping up with 2 of the most elite attackers in the game. In 2024, he hit another milestone, reaching 100 goal involvements for Liverpool. It happened in a 3-0 win over Bournemouth at Anfield, with his assist for Luis Diaz's second goal sealing the century. And once again, he's doing all of this as a right-back. So that brings up the big question. Is Trent Alexander-Arnold the greatest right-back in Premier League history? What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. So after dominating the world as a right-back, the big question now is, should Trent move to midfield? He spent most of his senior career at right-back, but with constant debates about his defending, would he be better suited to the middle of the park? I mean, we've already seen Southgate try it with England multiple times, even at the last Euros. But what do fans think? Let's check out some social media takes. For people wanting Trent to play as a right midfielder, I don't see how that would allow him to do more than he already does from his current role. Moreover, about him being a liability defensively, he can and has easily been covered by others in the past. Trent has won a lot from right back, and Klopp never moved him from midfield. Just keep him at right back. It's not rocket science. Call Trent whatever you want. Inverted right back, converted right back, brilliant right back. But this man is fully playing as a midfielder now, and he is unreal in this role. Clearly, opinions are split. Some think he should stay where he's already world-class, while others believe he's already transitioning into a midfield role. But can Trent pull it off as a full-time midfielder? Before we answer that, how about you hit the subscribe and like button if you haven't? You've done that? Good. Now let's talk about Trent's evolution into a midfielder. Did you know that Trent Alexander-Arnold actually started out as a midfielder in Liverpool's academy? Yep, you heard that right. Back in the under-16s under Pep Lindier, he played right in the middle of the pitch at the base of a diamond formation. He was everywhere, pulling the strings, making passes and controlling the game. But when he moved up to the under-18s, the coaches saw an opportunity to use his physical strengths differently. So they shifted him out wide, first as a right winger and then as a right back. That switch turned out to be a game changer. Trent's time in midfield gave him an incredible range of passing, vision and creativity, which he now uses to great effect from fullback. He did not just become a defender, he became a playmaker. And the stats prove it. In the 2018-19 season, his first as a regular starter, he picked up 12 assists and had only 2 players in the league above him on the assist chart. The following season, he upped it to 13, second only to Kevin De Bruyne. And in the 2021-22, he hit 12 again, with only Mo Salah ahead of him. And if you think Trent is just about assists, think again. His influence goes way beyond that. Last season, he averaged 5.25 shot-creating actions per 90 minutes in the Premier League and Europa League, putting him in the 99th percentile among fullbacks in Europe's top 5 leagues. That means he was better than almost every other fullback at creating chances. But it doesn't stop there. He also ranked in the 99th percentile for expected assisted goals per 90 and passes attempted, with 87.71, showing just how much he dictates play. And when it comes to progressive passes, I'm talking about those vital forward balls that break defensive lines. He was in the 98th percentile. Now, in case you're wondering what a percentile is, it's a way of ranking something compared to a larger group. If you're in the 99th percentile, it means you're better than 99% of people you're being compared with. You get the drift? Now, when it comes to launching the ball long, Trent was among the best that season. He ranked 8th in the Premier League for total successful long passes and 3rd for switches of play. Those pinpoint crossfield passes that stretch defenses and open up space. Simply put, he's not just a right back, he's a playmaker in disguise. And this is why there have been calls from some folks in the football world to see Trent in the middle. And guess who answered that call? Jurgen Klopp, the same guy who couldn't believe England played Trent in midfield in 2021. Funny how things work out, right? Liverpool's season looks like a mess early on, but everything changed in April when Klopp pulled the trigger on a bold tactical shift. He gave Trent a hybrid role, letting him step into the midfield when Liverpool had the ball. Suddenly, they had an extra playmaker in the middle, and just like that, the team started to click again. It was the perfect way to unlock Trent's passing, vision, and creativity, and the impact was instant. Liverpool went on a 24-game unbeaten run in the Premier League after the switch against Arsenal. The only loss came in that wild, controversy-filled game against Tottenham in September 2023. And there was that crazy 4-3 win over Fulham. With the game on a knife edge, Klopp needed control. So what did he do? He subbed on Joe Gomez as a right back and pushed Trent fully into midfield as number 6. No more worrying about sprinting back to defend. His job was now all about dictating play, spraying passes, and keeping Liverpool moving forward. With more freedom to operate in dangerous areas, Trent made it count, capping off the game with a dramatic late winner in front of the Kop. It was a special moment, not just because it sealed the win, because it marked the first time in his career he scored in back-to-back Premier League games. Thing is, this wasn't a one-off. Klopp had already tested the waters in a Carabao Cup win over Bournemouth that season, bringing Trent off the bench in a similar midfield role. And guess what? 9 minutes later, he played the killer pass that set up Darwin Núñez's match-sealing goal. This wasn't just Trent filling in as a midfielder. This was him proving he could be out-and-out midfield option for Liverpool. And you could tell people were loving what they were seeing too, with tweets like this one. Trent has matured lately. He takes games by the scruff of the neck when Liverpool need him to. Also, for a player who is berated due to his lack of 1v1 defensive skills, he sure has a hell of a big physical presence on the pitch. He dominated Fulham's midfield in the second half. With Trent thriving in his new role at Liverpool, it was only natural that excitement started to build around the idea of him playing in midfield for England at Euro 2024. The thought of him lining up alongside Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice in the heart of midfield had fans and pundits buzzing. If he could dictate play so well at Liverpool, surely he could do the same for England, right? Well, not quite. Things didn't go according to plan. Trent started England's first 2 group stage matches, but he struggled to make an impact. His passing range, vision and creativity that he put on display in a Liverpool shirt didn't translate the same way in Gareth Southgate's system. And after those 2 games, he was the only player dropped from the England starting 11 for their 3rd match against Slovenia. Just like that, the midfield experiment was over. The reaction from fans was swift and brutal. Yep, the Trent in midfield experiment needs to end with this game. By the way, Trent should be playing right back, his position. There's been too many moments where we've lacked the progressive passing from deep areas, and it's even more evident with Gallagher in midfield. Said for a while, double pivot should be Warnton and Rice. Trent should be right back. So what went wrong? On the surface, it might seem like Trent simply isn't suited to midfield. But the reality is more complex. His struggles had less to do with his ability and more to do with the system and the players around him. At Liverpool, Trent plays alongside attacking players like Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez and Luis Diaz, a front line that naturally stretches the pitch, creating pockets of space for him to operate and dictate play. He thrives on having that freedom, using his range of passing to pick out runners behind or switch play with ease. But England's attack is built differently. Phil Foden, Harry Kane and Bukayo Saka are all exceptional players, but they like to occupy similar areas. often coming short to receive the ball rather than making runs in behind. Instead of having space to pull the strings, Trent found himself crowded out, with little room to influence the game as he does at club level. It wasn't a case of Trent not being good enough for midfield. It was a case of him being used in a system that didn't suit his strengths. And seeing how the Euros experiment failed, the question now was, what will his new manager Arne Slot do with Trent? Well, since the start of the new season, the idea of Trent Alexander-Arnold as a midfield isn't getting the same level of attention it did under Jurgen Klopp. New manager Slot appeared more inclined to keep Trent in his traditional right-back role, rather than pushing him into a midfield full-time. But that doesn't mean the experiment is over for good. Trent still possesses a unique skill set that could make him a dominant force in midfield. His passing range, vision, and creativity remain unmatched, making him Liverpool's most unconventional playmaker. Whether he's at right back or drifting inside, he continues to dictate the tempo of games, proving that he is capable of playing in a more central role if given the right system. Let's talk about Trent's amazing passing ability. I mean, you've got to be a fantastic passer of the ball if you're staking a claim for a role in the middle. And if there's anybody who knows how to ping the ball well in world football, it's Liverpool's right back. One of the most defining traits of Trent's game is his ridiculous passing ability. His long-range distribution is so precise, it often feels like he's a quarterback disguised as a fullback. Moments like his 50-yard pass to Mohamed Salah against Arsenal stand out as perfect examples of his technical brilliance. When given the space to operate, he can slice open defenses with ease, threading pinpoint balls into dangerous areas. Another skill set that truly sets Trent apart is his ability to strike the ball. Time and time again, the 26-year-old has served his fan base a banger from every angle of the pitch. He may not be a prolific goal scorer, not that he has to be one anyway, but when he does take a shot, it's almost always of the highest quality. Now, he might have scored only 5 goals in his last 2 seasons, but there's no doubt that Trent's shooting is more about quality than quantity. His technique allows him to generate power and accuracy from long distances, making him a threat whenever he finds himself in the right areas. Trent Alexander-Arnold has all the tools to succeed in midfield. Elite passing, shooting, vision, and a football IQ that sets him apart. The numbers don't lie, and neither do the performances when he is given the right conditions to thrive. The only thing standing in his way is finding a manager willing to trust him in that role full-time. Whether it's Arne Slot or a future England manager, the decision is clear. Let Trent be Trent. The midfield is waiting. Trent Alexander-Arnold's role keeps changing, but one thing is clear. His passing, vision and creativity make him one of Liverpool's most exciting players. The big question is, will he ever fully move into midfield? Or is this hybrid role perfect for him? And what do you think? Should he be England's midfield solution? Or is he better staying at right back? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on more great content. And hey, stick around. Click on the next video for another juicy one. See you there.